Okay, all right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of My Best Friend Dad. It is the podcast for dads. I decided to start this just being a young father, wanting to get to know other men who are on this journey of fatherhood. You know what I mean? We definitely understand that there are a lot of women and mothers who deal with postpartum depression, and there are a lot of fathers who deal with a similar type of issue. You know, a lot of it's because they just don't chat and they don't feel like there's any type of camaraderie or, feel very isolated. So I took it upon myself to create a little bit of a platform, a little bit of a place for us to just sort of break bread and kind of talk about what we're going through, share some secrets and, maybe learn a thing or two and help somebody out. So today, joining me, a very good friend of mine, an old friend of mine, way back in the day. We're back in a good old first back of ACOC freshman dorm hall. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. I'll let you take it from here. Tell everybody your name and just a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name is Ethan Chiappisi. Like Dwayne said, I've known him quite a while now. I guess what it must have been '09 when we met.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
God, anyway, but I mean, there's not, I'm a pretty simple guy. There's not much to know about me. I enjoy hanging out with people a lot. I'm a pretty big extrovert, and I think what you said is important about having a kind of a dad network. I don't mean to be, cheesy, but it's been just quick reference. It's been really nice. My next door neighbor has three little girls, and so anything I'm nervous about, I can talk to him about right off, and it's a nice resource.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And now you have a daughter on the way, right? I know you have a 2-year-old, but you said you have a daughter on the way.
Well, don't know if it's a daughter or
Nice.
yeah. So we got had the anatomy scan. Actually, got the envelope right here, but
Ooh.
it's unopened and it will remain that way, hopefully,
Oh, you
unless
guys are
my
going with
curiosity.
okay,
Yeah.
doing a surprise thing then.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we're not planning on doing any kind of reveal or anything like that. We didn't for the first one. We didn't find out for her either. We just, as long as she was healthy, we were happy, and she's great. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Now, most people don't know this. Fun fact for all you guys watching, we have the exact same birthday. So it is
Yeah.
actually very interesting that we are both on this journey of fatherhood almost at the same time. A question I always ask everybody, like every podcast, I think it's a big question. Talk to me about, like I said, you have one now, and I love to get into the mind of the moment you were taking your kid home. You know what I mean? Like that moment when you're stepping out of the hospital with the baby, you're looking at the doctor like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen. It's big because it's like that is like a flash point of your whole life is different now. You know what I mean? Like there's no going back. Just walk me through what you were going through at that moment. You know what I mean?
Can I step back a little bit further than that? I just
Yeah.
have a kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
And so, mind you, my wife and I were already married whenever we found out that she was pregnant. But her dad had put together a guys trip. We had all gone to the mountains, gone fly fishing and kayaking, and it was a really great time. And we didn't really do anything where I could get her a souvenir or anything to bring home. And so the only thing that we did was there was a Kilwin's candy shop there. So I went, got her something I thought she would like. And I walked in the house, essentially said, honey, I'm home. And I said, I got you something. And I handed her the bag of candy. And she goes, oh, I got you something too. And hands me a bag of positive pregnancy tests. So that was my, oh crap moment.
Yeah.
It's not like it was completely unexpected. We were not trying. We weren't trying to prevent it, but I told her at the time, I was like, I kind of just froze and my heart started beating real fast. And I was like, I gotta go. I'm not like leaving. I will be back. I
Yeah.
gotta go somewhere.
Yeah. You got to take that in.
Yeah, so that was that moment for me. But then taking her home from the hospital was kind of crazy too. The nurse comes out, she checks the car seat, and basically just goes, all right, have a nice life. And we're like, and I'm the one driving, and so my wife, of course, is in the back seat with our daughter because it's her brand new daughter. And I'm like, yeah, now I got two passengers that you can't let anything happen to. I'm freaking out. Got to drive drive like a grandma.
Yeah, yeah. Every time you just pull out. You like it's almost like you don't know how to drive at all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's just crazy. I remember for me, I brought they you know we were I went to the hospital and I brought the car seat in, but I brought the whole I brought the whole kit. Like I didn't bring it in the box, but I had like the car seat, the little adjustment piece, and I walk in with this heavy thing. And the nurse is like, you don't have to bring all of that. Like she's I was just like, I'm not, I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing. You shouldn't trust me right now. But yeah, it's just stuff like you feel that so strongly, you know what I mean? Like, man, I'm doing this, you know? And like,
Yeah.
what's next? You know what I mean? So I love getting into the mind of that. Go ahead, man.
No, yeah, I just, I used to work in the lab for a while, and we always used to joke like, who's letting me play with chemicals? Whose great idea was that? And so now I take a similar approach now. I'm like, who let me have a daughter? I'm taking her home. Come on.
Right, right. I have some memories of college. We spent a lot of time getting drunk, but I'll tell you, I don't think I was the first one that you'd want to be handing a kid and having, you know, take care.
Yeah.
I definitely was not. I was way too busy doing a whole bunch of stuff, man. But yeah, so you with your kids, talk to me about some of like the just some of the things you do in terms of how you got from the chaos of starting with a new baby to eventually you get a rhythm and you establish a routine. You know what I mean? What are some things that you use to sort of ground you in these moments? Because that's something that a lot of dads need to figure out. Like, how do I get my bearings? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my wife, truly, I gotta give her a shout out. She, I think, was born to be a mother, and she just like
Nice.
fish to water, bam, she was it. She was all the way in, and anything I needed help with, she was either giving me a friendly hand or a I can't believe that you're being a wuss about this kind of deal. And, when your wife says that to you, you're like, well, I can't let that happen.
Right,
Let me
right,
step
right.
up and um,
Yeah, my
but yeah,
wife is like such a soldier. She's the same way. She was just, it's like how ready were you this? But what you don't realize is, with them carrying it, they are preparing mentally to do this for months before any guy is, you know what I mean? I was reading and they say a lot of men have the same reaction where it's like once the baby's here, they're like, oh snap, it's on, you know what I mean? Whereas
yeah.
women have been preparing and stuff. So I definitely, I have so much respect, you know what I mean? Because it's like they they try to say something. We're just like, I don't know about you. I was just like, man, babies, babies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I'll
But,
figure it out. No, yeah, no big deal.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
And then you were talking about routine, which has again, I didn't think that was going to be that important. And then of course now we have our day is a routine. I when the pandemic hit, I started working from home. And so, which was cool because I wasn't going to get paternity leave at the time. And then, I essentially got unlimited paternity leave. I've been with her for everything, which has helped us build a routine. And so she knows, at least at this point, she's two. But when dad's in here with the door shut, I'm working, and she doesn't. I don't know, she probably beats on the door about once a day. Jay, this was quick story. This was my favorite. She started beating on the door today. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on, let me find where's the sweet spot by my no. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah. So it's a pink spring. Don't know where
Okay.
it came from. No
Right.
idea. And she starts beating on the door wildly while I'm on a teleconference, and I open the door, and she goes, "Daddy, I got a pink spring." And I was like, "That's great, sweetheart." And she goes, "It's for Jinx." And Jinx is our cat, and Jinx, usually posts up behind me while I'm working. And she was like, "Can I give the pink spring to Jinx?" And I'm like, "No, not
No.
no, I'll give it to her." And so I give it. She's like, "Thanks, she's gonna love it."
Yeah.
And so when that's my distraction for the day, I can't be too mad about it. But otherwise, she leaves me alone, and whenever I get off work, I then go take her out to play, and I give my wife a break. And from there, it's the normal routine. We do dinner and bath time, bedtime.
Yeah.
Um,
Everything to keep the everything rolling and stuff. Now I love that because she's at 2, so you're past all of the stages I'm at with everything, like with the staying up all night and stuff. But you definitely I think I wanted to ask, like, how talk to me about how much you enjoy seeing her personality sort of come, like just add layers to it every day. You know what I mean? Like there are moments where I'm like, God, that is my son's only 9 months old, and I'm like, that is me. You know what I mean? Like at
Yeah,
times, and like it's just it
yeah.
feels so good to see that. You know.
Before I forget, can I have a minute to question you at the end of this before we're
Please,
done?
yeah,
I want
after,
to pick
yeah,
your brain.
please. When we get
Uh,
in, I want you to ask me some questions too, for sure.
all right, but you're just giving me a platform to gush here. I mean, it's amazing. That's first of all, but that's an understatement. And as you're seeing, like it's just, every day something new. She's opening up. She's making new connections. Like right, I had to do my homework before I got on here with you, and so I was watching Mo's podcast,
Uh-huh.
and she sees me with headphones and is like, I want one, because I've only got one in so I can hear what's going on. And so I'm like, oh, here, come sit with me. So she puts it in, and until now we haven't really let her listen to anything on headphones. It's just been like, we'll give her headphones to play with because she wants them. And
Hmm.
so she put it up and was like looking back and forth between that and the video, and I was like, yeah, the headphones play noise whenever they're hooked up to something. And I just kind of got to see her have this aha moment of
Yeah.
like, um, it's very similar thing. I saw her try and eat soup with a fork one time, and she had this aha moment of like, oh, that's why we use a spoon. What am I doing there? But it's so cool. She's got, her vocabulary is exploding at this point. She's starting to put sentences together. I love her so much. I'm gonna draw from Mo a little bit. He was talking about that he loved the baby stage, but he couldn't wait for her to get older. And my wife and I always joked that when she was a baby, she could have her. I'm not too big on infants, but as soon as she was a toddler, she was my problem.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I love it, man. I chase
Yeah.
I chase her around, like I push her on the swing. She's a daredevil. She wants to go super high.
Yeah.
Like she's I can't say enough good things. I love this little girl so much. She's got me wrapped around her finger for sure. I can't.
Right.
I try and be the mean parent. That was our agreement, but it's hard sometimes.
Right. Right. Did you say her name? What's her name? I don't think I asked you what
Oh,
her name was.
I didn't. Her name is Alice Jane.
Oh wow, beautiful name. That
Well,
is, my
thank
son is Noah Danger Murphy. That's literally his middle name is
That's
Danger.
actually his middle. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you did that. That's holy cow.
Yeah, we both
He
like
would. I mean, he would, but that's God. I love you for that. That's so
yeah, my
cool.
wife and I love James Bond, James Bond and stuff. So I was like, yeah, well, of course we're gonna do that. So it was good. My mom was upset because we were gonna give him the same last name as her, which is Allen, but we were like, Danger. Like, come on, couldn't pass it up, man. But yeah, but go ahead,
It's gonna
open it up. Go ahead, ask me anything, man. Like, please, I want you to, you know.
All right. So, I mean, so far, what has been, okay, we'll start back, kind of at the beginning of what you were asking me. Did
Mhm.
you experience any of that postpartum dad depression or anything like that? Because I mean, I kind of did, but not, it very well could have been the pandemic and me staying home all the time. So like, it's hard to
Right.
say that that's what it was.
Right. Well, he was born September. Wait, I better say this right, or else my wife will have my head. I was September 7th, and so 2021, it was at the tail end, very tail end of all like the hard restrictions and stuff. There were still some and everything, but we weren't like obviously quarantining and stuck in the house. You know what I mean? When we brought him home. But I did still feel, I don't know if it was so much depression. I felt a bit of an isolation, just in the sense that, I don't have the same, you don't hang out with the same people. You don't go out and do the same things. It's like
Yeah.
all of your routines and habits have to change for this baby. And then, you feel, that FOMO starts kicking in where you're just like, man, who am I now with a kid, and that searching kind of started making me a little sad because I was just like, kept asking, am I ready? Am I ready? But I think that, having my wife and my son here just to constantly be here and like having two people I know, one that need me and like they love me even like my wife was like, even when I can't look at your face, I love you. She'll say that all the time. You know what I mean? Like that reassured me that like this was the right place for me, and it gradually I was able to find that comfort, you know what I'm saying? Because all those relationships I think that I had before, I was a family man were definitely just like they were just hangouts. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of stand up. You knew that I did a lot of stand up comedy, and I met a lot of people, and I had a lot of people around me, but I didn't have like real grounded, like, people I could count on. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that so hard when I became, a father, with a wife and a kid. You know what I mean? These people count on me, and I count on them for everything. So that yeah, I definitely can say that that depression was it was there, but I don't know if it was because of, like, my kid. It just felt like I needed to find a new source of um encouragement. You know what I mean? That's how I, yeah.
Well, and to your point, I guess, I mean, that's why I think the network of dads is really important. I've got a handful of my close friends that are dads now, and I've kind of adapted my schedule to, I'll play video games with them after all of our kids have gone to bed, things like that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. We when we were in Chicago, it was like not nobody had kids, you know what I mean? Then we moved out here to Southern California. It's like everyone around us had kids. So that was the perfect, like I said, to see other people like, can give you that nod of just like, I know, man, you know what I mean? And you're gonna be okay. It helps so much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my most, I know this is so random. My most validating moment was I took my daughter to the grocery store probably about 6 months ago, and I had gotten her dressed and done her hair and whatever else. And that's a weird girl dad thing. You don't think about before having a girl. Like, you got to do somebody's hair. Like, I'm responsible for how she looks. That's weird. So I took her to the grocery store, and this guy stops me as I'm walking through the beer aisle with her, and he goes, "Hey, dude, it's a nice dad ponytail." And I was like, I just immediately, I was like, you don't know how much that means to me. Like, I had a giant smile on my face. I was like, my wife always makes fun of me because they're so bad. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, you have a master's degree, but you can't make a ponytail.
Yeah, I'm like, I kind of like, I want a girl. Like, I remember when my wife was pregnant, with Noah, I was like, boy, you know what I'm saying? I think I was just like, boy, easy and stuff. Now that I have a boy, I'm like, I think I want a girl now, you know what I mean? Because I can see, I do see that there's a difference with the girl dad dynamic and the boy dad, because I can impart this wisdom on him, and I'll do my best to make him the best man I can make him, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. But with a girl dad, you really do, I feel like you have to reflect a lot on your decisions and how you like present yourself a lot more, you know what I mean? Is that
Yeah.
true? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because you have to be their role model. You're their first, you're the first man in their life, whether whether they're happy about it or not.
Yeah.
And so you just want to, make sure you're treating their mom right. Make sure you're setting a good example for what they should be looking for when they're getting into a relationship, or when they, or when they're setting the boundaries for who they like, and what they like, and things like that.
Yeah.
And so that's been hard. That's a great point. That has been a challenge. I will fully admit, I don't conduct myself like I should 100% of the time. I don't think anybody does.
Right.
But it's hard to not get mad, in a situation when I know that I need to stay calm for her benefit.
Right.
But anyway, not to abruptly change subjects. I was going to say this a minute ago. Just a fun fact for anybody listening, and a mini plug for you. Actually met my wife, or not met my wife, but started dating my wife at one of your shows. I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
Yeah, we'd seen each other a couple times. We decided to go out to one of your shows. It was one of the what was the troupe? What was it? Seriously Clowning. It was one of Seriously Clowning shows.
Wow.
And
I remember them.
somebody was doing a set, and he was just trying to make a point, and he's like, points at a couple in the audience, and he's like, "Hey, you guys a couple?" And the guy's like, "Dude, that's my mom." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So he asked somebody else, and he's like, "Are you guys a couple?" And the guy's like, "That's my sister." That's weird. And so he points at us, and I'm just trying to let the dude get on with his joke, and so I'm like, "Yeah, we're a couple, fine." And so we walk out of the show that night, and another friend that was with us goes, "I didn't know you guys were dating." And she looks at me and she goes, "Yeah, I didn't either." Like, well, you didn't reject me though, so hey. So
That's awesome. That is well, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying?
You were instrumental there. I appreciate that.
That's nice. That's a nice little fun fact, man. When you look back on, just to, some insight, when you look back on our lives, back in college and thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could talk to that, if you could talk to that dude in college, you know what I mean? Like, do you think he would be like receptive of who you are now? You know what I mean? Because I feel like I just feel like I was such a different person back then. You know what I mean? And if I walked up to college me and was like, hey, dad life, or you know what I'm saying? You know, and like you're home, diapers, you gonna be doing it. I'd have been like, get out of here. You know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
do you think about that from time to time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I always knew I should be shout out to my dad, I guess. I thought he was a fantastic. I still think he's a fantastic role model, and I liked how happy he was with his family. And growing up, I knew I wanted to have a family. I knew I wanted what he had because it felt good.
Yeah.
And so it's in that respect, me back in college already knew that I was fine with it, was going to happen one day.
Yeah.
On the other hand, just as a point of reference, on Father's Day, I'm in a Discord with a bunch of other dads and guys who aren't dads, but a lot of us are now.
Mhm.
And we were all wishing each other happy Father's Day, and one of them goes, what do you think would happen if we told us 10 years ago that the situation that we're in now? And we all just started laughing, because
Yeah.
it's exactly what you just said. You're like, yo, I got two kids, I got one on the way. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I said, I know I'm gonna reach out to my old roommate Matthew and talk to him, because it was just like I told my wife the story of and he remembers it, but I remember we were at this party once, and I remember him like having a cup in his hand, I think, and I think he was like he got sick, and like he got sick into the cup, and then like but he wouldn't put the cup away, like he just held it for the rest of the party so he could look cool.
Sounds about right, actually.
I was like, those are the type of people we were. You know what I mean? Like we did, like if me now walked into that hallway when we all did the electric slide. At one point we all did the electric slide with like our shirts off for some reason, like
Yeah.
in front of other dudes too. I was just like, how do I stop that guy? You know what I mean? It's just but honestly, I don't feel any like I don't feel any I don't know I don't feel any shame or anything like that, because I love
No.
the journey, you know.
Yeah,
That
I
led-
think that's an important part of who you are now too. I think those experiences shaped your personality, and you're going to
yeah,
impart that on Noah. You're going to, teach him how to have fun, and that was part of that experience. You learn different things from different parts of your life, and now you can teach Noah how to have fun within bounds, essentially.
yeah. So okay, so we do a bedtime routine, you know what I mean? Everybody, kids like they like what they like, you know what I'm saying, at bedtime and stuff. Like we read books to them and stuff. Talk to me about your books, man. What are your like go-tos for the reading and everything?
Oh man. Um, so I mean, we have had a lot of family and friends and whatever donate children's books to us, and so no kidding, we have like it's got to be like 200 kids books just
Yeah,
like on different shelves around the house, and so it's always, I feel like it's always something different.
yeah.
Lately there have been two. One of them is called I Love You Stinky Face.
Okay,
um,
okay.
which is it's I hear there are several versions of this book or things like it, but it's essentially like the kid goes, Mom, if I was a super smelly skunk and I smelled so bad that everybody called me Stinky Face, would you still love me?
Yeah,
And she's like, you could smell super terrible and I'd go give you a bath, and if you smelled terrible still, I really wouldn't care and I would still love you.
yeah.
And so she loves that one. And then have you let Noah watch any TV yet?
Yeah, we've been watching a lot of Miss Rachel. That's been his
Oh man, my niece was obsessed with Miss Rachel for
yeah.
a while.
She's we
Um,
call her his TV mom, because she does look like my wife. And so like when my wife is tired, we'll just pop him in front of TV mom. It's like it never, you know what I mean? But yeah, Miss Rachel's his go-to right now. And like if we put there are other like ladies on YouTube that we try to watch. There's like Sarah Sunshine. There's this lady who does stuff in Spanish, and he will like get mad. He'll be like, you know what I mean? Like he'll be like, boom, like bring back this Rachel.
I
So
feel like he knows that she looks like your wife, or he thinks that it is your wife, and he's like,
yeah,
my mom's so cool. She does this show. Like,
exactly. Exactly. It's awesome. But we just started, my wife put Barney on for him because she knew that's what I watch. And
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like, and he got sucked right in, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a, but it's finally something else, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's his TV right now. What are you
Well,
doing on TV?
so let me before we, because this has got loop back around to the bedtime story.
Go for it.
But I watched a lot of Sesame Street when I was a kid, and
Mhm.
so did my wife, and so that was what we were watching around the age that you're at. And let me tell you, if you get into any of that, there's a show called, I think it's called the Not Too Late or the Not So Late Show with Elmo, and it's
Okay.
essentially an adult like late night talk show like Jimmy Kimmel or whoever, but it's Elmo's the host, and he like
Okay.
brings on people like Katy Perry, and I think maybe Steph Curry was on there at one point, maybe.
Nice.
um yeah, it's as far as your kid's happy because it's Elmo, but it's the adults are happy because you're seeing actual interviews and interesting things.
Yeah.
Anyway, just side note, now she is absolutely obsessed with Bluey. Have you heard of Bluey?
No, no, I have not.
Oh, you're gonna hear of Bluey. Well, me. So Bluey is our life now. Bluey has taken over everything. She has the Bluey dream house that she got for her birthday.
Okay.
She Anyway, that was the book. So Bluey is an Australian kids show about this family of Australian blue heeler dogs, and all their friends are dogs, and it's a show about this. Dad plays really fun games with them. They're always playing imaginative games that end up teaching them some kind of life lesson.
Okay.
It's a good show as far as like value building goes and stuff like that. And honestly, like, I don't mind watching it. I'm not going to go seek out to watch a kid's show, but if she's got it on, I will happily sit and watch it with her, whatever.
Yeah.
um anyway, so my wife got a book that is written by the people who make Bluey, called My Dad Is Awesome, and they wrote it as if it's written by the two main characters of that show.
Okay.
uh, and so that, since Father's Day, that has been the book. Which I got it, just in terms of like heart melting things. Number one on my list is when my daughter like tackle hugs me. That's the best. Like, I'm not even paying attention. I'm like squatted down, and all of a sudden I hear like boom, 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 and then I just get hit from the side with a hug. That's amazing.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The
Good.
other thing now is this book, because my wife will be like, you know what? Did you pick out your bedtime story? What do you want to read? And she's, My Dad Is Awesome. And she'll just repeat it over, and it's, Daddy, my dad is awesome. And I'm like, thanks, baby. You're a real
Nice.
self-esteem builder here.
Yes. Was Dad her first word?
Oh man. I don't think so. I think it was Mama, but Dada was close behind.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It was. Yeah. It's like it can. It's one or the other. You know. I mean, I think he was Dad, and then Mama has been in the last couple weeks and stuff. But that's always fun just watching them. Like we call it coming online, because it's like just those little, like when that stuff starts happening, we're just like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like we just get so excited, and then they keep doing it, and you're just like, oh, that's just what you do now. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the thing. Oh, perfect. All right, cool. So I got the little timer thing. So we're almost out of time. I'll ask you one more question, and then we'll sort of.
Well,
We'll,
I got one more for you too, if that's all right.
all
We'll
right,
try and do
you
it
go
quick.
first, and then I'll wrap it up.
All right. So what are you most excited to teach him? And just as like a point of what I'm getting at, I'm like a Super Smash Brothers freak. And so I always joke with my buddies that I play with that I'm going to teach my daughter to just completely whoop them. She's going to be a 3-year-old just destroying them, and they're not going to know what to do about it.
Yeah.
So what are you excited to teach Noah that
Man,
you
those
like to do?
Smash Brothers battles were epic, and I feel like I should teach her, but I can't wait to pass down this psychotic obsession with the New York Football Giants. All right, that is my only.
Psychotic.
Yeah, that's my yes, because they have not been good for a decade, literally
Oh no,
10
it's a
years.
good
Like,
word.
yeah, they've been bad. They've been bad, and but I cannot take my aunt every day. I'm just like it's not even so much football. It's the New York Giants. Like I just can't wait to get him into them specifically. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But that's perfect that's actually a perfect way to get into my last question. You know what I mean? When you look at yourself as a father, you know what I mean, and you talk about the things you want to give to your kids and stuff like that. Do you feel the pressure of, I need to sort of like, I need to live up to what I think the standard of a father is? Or do you just feel like, as long as I'm there and I give my best, they're gonna love me? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a
That's why I
that's a much,
laughed. That's why I did it last.
yeah. I won't say, I mean, I do feel a little bit of the pressure, like I was talking about trying to be a good role model earlier. But at the same time, I think every situation is different. I think every kid is different, and I think every kid needs different things. And so, what it seems to me that my daughter needs on a daily basis is changing just constantly. My head is constantly on a swivel. She always wants something else. And so I will say I don't really feel the pressure because I know in, my heart of hearts that I'm doing my best here, and I'm providing for her. I'm working every day. I'm cooking dinner for her sometimes. I'm, doing bedtime. I'm doing bath time every night. And she's spending time with me, and she responds positively to me, and all the time. And so I think that's it, is I know I'm doing a good job, and I feel like I'm doing a good job because she and I are getting this great relationship. And I think that's the most important thing. And to hell with everybody else's standards, I guess.
I love that. No, that's good. That's good, man. I think as the a big thing that keeps, a lot of dads in that place of like, sort of sad or whatever, is that pressure, is feeling like, am I, doing what all that I should be doing? You know what I mean? So to have that mindset of like, as long as I'm here, you know what I mean? And she just sees that role model, you know what I mean? I'm doing way better than anything else, and I think kids feel that, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
definitely they feel that, because like my mom was single mom and stuff, and she dealt with a lot of pressure, and all it ever made me feel as a kid was like I was in the way or stuff like that, so like if I could impart that wisdom, or if I guess that's what, I could get more dads to feel like, hey, just be there, and just do your best to, let them know that you're dependable.
Yeah, it's it goes along with a lot of things. You know how many games I've played that I don't want to play, or what,
Mhm.
whatever else. But like, do I want to go play magnetic dress up dolls?
No.
No, that sounds awful. But she wants me to do it, and it makes her happy. So all right.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you talking to me, dude. It was so great to catch up and just like, like I said, share a couple of dad war stories just to, I really do think this project is doing a lot it's been doing a lot for me, even just the 3 little interviews that I've done. Just in like knowing that like, man, I am not alone in this. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Not
good.
at all.
I hope you got the same thing out of it too, man.
Oh yeah, I was real excited about doing this. Thank you for having me. So, if you ever loop back around for any reason, I'd love to be on again.
100%, dude. 100%. I don't know where my cap's gonna be. Hopefully I'll just keep talking. So we'll definitely have you back on, man. And if you ever if you stayed this long, man, thank you for listening to this conversation. Come on back to My Best Friend Dad. We're gonna be having episodes like this every week. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. And if you have anything going on, email us, contact me, you know what I'm saying? Social media. I don't have to I'm not gonna give out my email anymore. You can find me. It's 2022. You can find me. All right. Thank you again, Ethan. If there's any last things you want to say before we go, just let me know.
No. I appreciate it again. This was really cool. And to everybody out there, if you're listening to this and you need a dad support group, reach out to Dwayne or reach out to me or somebody. We'll hook you up. We'll get you somebody to talk to.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We'll also give you all of the clothes that we don't use anymore, because
Yeah,
I got
for sure. So it's overflowing.
Please. All right, man. You have a good one, dude. Thanks again for talking
Thanks.
to me.
You too.
And have a
Later.
good night.